Developmentalism. Today, I'm going to educate you all about developmentalism. What is it? It is defined as an economic theory which states that the best way for a third world country to develop is through fostering a strong and a varied international market and to impose high tariffs on imported goods. Basically, it is an economic theory, talks about the best way a third world country, developing country, can develop, and the best way it proposes is through global interactions, for example, trade, importing, exporting. It basically helps us understand development on an international level. The four main ideas it follows is firstly, performance of the nation comes from its government. So if the economic growth is in sustenance, then the population will support their government, which leads to faster development. Secondly, it is the government's duty to spread out the risks associated with capitalist development. Government and entrepreneurs should combine to maximize nations' interests, because if everyone has the same goals and the same interests, it will be easier to develop faster. Thirdly, bureaucrats and politicians should separate to balance the needs of the state and maintain global interactions. And lastly, it is necessary to utilize the capitalist system as means of advancement, because capitalist system is actually basically what the world uses. Why is it effective? Well, it is effective because due to the fact that it was used to reverse the negative impacts that the international economy was having on developing countries in 1950s to 1960s. It helped countries like Argentina, Chile, Bolivia to regain economic stability. It builds a controlled and organized free market. It is easy to analyze since it's so constrained. And here by analyze, I mean analyze just the growth. It helps break down barriers between the social sciences, which is essential for development as it will be easy to categorize, complex ideas. However, it's not effective because it is based on two assumptions. The first assumption is that every country follows the same route to development. It heavily relies on Western model of development, which basically states that development happens from traditional to modern or primitive to industrialized. It also says it's not effective because each country. Oh, the second assumption is that each country is economically and politically free, which is not true. Another fancy word for this is autonomous. It is ethnocentric, which means that what happened in North America and Europe is the best way to develop and would automatically happen elsewhere. It is too formal and too structured. Every country has its own definition of freedom, of development, but developmentalism hinders them from developing in their own way. There's no space for culture. It only looks at economics. It only looks at individual countries and their growth, which makes it hard to analyze and compare other countries and figure out whether that particular country is actually developed or is still developing. And it will be hard to rank countries. Also, third world countries are still third world despite developmentalism even after 25 years. Developmentalism gives Western dominance over developing countries. In conclusion, this developmentalism theory was declined in 1970s. I feel that it has more negatives than positives, and I read that it left few countries in a worse state than they started with. So this is like a negative effect. This is not development at all, because development is basically a positive growth on various aspects. Therefore, it is not very effective. Thank you.